Today we're taking a look at section 4.1 on historical numeration systems, and in this case we're beginning with a number of ancient numeration systems, and we'll go through and look at the characteristics of these numeration systems, and eventually we will get to our Hindu-Arabic system, and we'll compare these ancient systems and our current Hindu-Arabic system, and we'll look at some of the advantages of our positional system. But we begin with one of the oldest systems that we have. This system is the ancient Egyptian numeration system, and it makes use of what we call simple grouping. And in their system, they had a symbol for the number 1, which was just a simple stroke. See if I can get my pen to right here. Okay. And then to represent 10, they used a heel bone. And to represent 100, they used a scroll. To represent 1,000, they used a lotus flower. And you'll need to add these little symbols to your notes as I'm drawing it. 10,000 was a pointing finger. 100,000 is the burbot fish. It always makes me think of goldfish crackers when I see these little smiling fish. And some places I have seen it called a tadpole. Okay. Our book calls it a burbot fish. And then finally, I guess they were astonished to have 1,000,000 of anything, so they used 1,000,000. They have the astonished person. Okay, so those are our symbols for the Egyptian system. And basically what they did was they would simply use, draw the symbol as many times as needed. For example, 237, they would write 2 scrolls for the 200. 30 would be 3 heel bones, and then 7 ones. So you can see it took up a lot more space, took a lot more time to write that than to write our 237. Now, I'll pause the recording and see if you can write 152,489 in the ancient Egyptian system. And when you think you have your answer correct, go ahead and restart the recording, and you can check your answer. Okay, I'm assuming you've written down what you think is the answer. We have 152,489. So for the 100,000, we need our fish, our burbot fish. 5 for the 50,000 means we need 5 pointing fingers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2,000 means we need 2 lotus flowers. Okay, 2 lotus flowers. And 400, we need 4 scrolls. Okay, and 80, we need 8 heel bones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then 9 ones. So again, you can see the numbers a lot longer. It took us longer to write than 152,489 in the Hindu-Arabic system. So simple grouping, what we're finding is we're just repeating the symbol the appropriate number of times for whatever number it represents. Okay. Now, we're improving on the system when we move to the traditional Chinese system. This uses what is called multiplicative grouping, and it is improved because what you do is you have a symbol for a multiplier and then you have a symbol for a power of 10. So it actually does save you a little bit of time. These numbers are written vertically. And again, you're going to have to enter the symbol on your notes because I didn't transfer that. The symbol for 1 is just a little line. And 2, we have 2 lines. 3 looks like 3 little lines. Then you get to 4. I have had students tell me this looks like curtains on a window or a face with no features. You got the hair but no features. Number 5 looks like somewhat like a rocking chair. Okay, 6. Alright, 7 looks like a T that's kind of on its side. 8. Okay, 9 is kind of like a fancy H. 10, this is one of the easier ones, looks like a plus sign. 100, this is one of my favorite symbols. I call it the detonator. It reminds me of the TNT detonator that you see in old cartoons. Let's see, what is it? Roadrunner? Those kind of cartoons, okay. 1,000 is not too bad. And I see my 0 got cut off of this, so I'm going to put that over here. The symbol for 0 is miserable to draw. I don't know why they picked something quite so complicated. I'm going to try my best to duplicate it here. May enlarge it a little bit, just simply. Alright, I need 3 of those. Okay, and then it goes into a little cappy-doo, and it kind of looks like a... And I can see I'm running off the page here, so let me move it up. Practice makes perfect, right? Okay, here's our 0. Okay, we got 3 of those. Then we have a little... Whoa. Let me see if I can get back to here. Alright, and it looks kind of like a P that's kind of on its side there. Okay, so this is the symbol for 0, and as I mentioned, it is very, very miserable to draw. So, again, you'll want to make sure you keep these notes in your notebooks so that when you go to take the test, you'll have be able to reference these symbols. Alright, to write 4,597, what you do is you place the multiplier of the power of 10 over the power of 10. And the number, as I mentioned, is written vertically. So we'd want the curtains or the face, however you want to think of it. That's our symbol for 4. The symbol for 1,000. Okay, so we're saying 4,000. So that's what that is. 500s. Alright, we've got our rocking chair, more or less. And 100 is our favorite detonator. I made that a little bit too long. My little favorite symbol there, the detonator. So we have 4,000s, 500s, 9 10s, so kind of our fancy H there. And there's our symbol for 10. And then notice for the 1s we don't need the multiplier. We just put the symbol for 7. Okay. Now, pause the recording and see if you can write 8,623. And when you think you have the correct answer, go ahead and restart it, and we'll take a look at it. There are some features that distinguish this Chinese system from one that is purely multiplicative grouping, and we'll talk about that in a few moments. But this is one that's very similar to the one we just did. So go ahead and pause the recording, get your answer, and then you can restart to check. Okay, I'm assuming you have gotten your answer. Okay, so we need 8,000. So first of all, we do the symbol for 8, and then we do the symbol for 1,000. Okay, so 8,000. Now we need 6. Okay, hundreds, that's our little detonator dude. Okay, so there's our detonator, so 600. 20, that's a 2 with a 10. And then our last number is a 3. So we get 8,623. So hopefully you got that one right. Now, the hardest part of the Chinese system are the 3 features that actually distinguish it from